morning, Kyle Gibbons, Operations, Oregon Department of Forestry, Team 1, and giving an operational update for the 28th of July for the Zone 1 of the Battle Mountain Complex. So, this used to be the Boneyard Fire, and then it merged with the Monkey Fire, which is then part of the Battle Mountain Complex. So that's where we end up with the current name we're running under. The zone break for Zone 1 comes down about right here. So we'll go ahead and get started with the operational update for Division Whiskey. So Division Whiskey is up here at the junction of the North Fork of the John Day and the Middle Fork of the John Day River. And then they've been securing some structures in this area. And then also yesterday they started to work across the river to secure this piece about like that. So working into the Division Sierra on Zone 2. So Zone 2 had lost the Middle Fork of the John Day. The fire had spotted across several days ago. And so then we were able to get up there and assist with getting that tied back in. So they actually used a road system, and then yesterday day shift, and they held it last night. They burned off of this road system and were able to secure this west-south piece of the fire of Zone 2. So feeling pretty good about that. We'll have to have crews in there for the next several days, mopping that up and making sure we hold it there. But for the time being, we're looking pretty good there for any further growth to the west, right in that area. And then working back, we have black line on the map here, which shows that we're fairly confident that we're going to hold that portion of the fire. So we consider that portion of the fire contained. And then that's working down to the town of Monument right there, and then working back up into Division Zulu. So as we get into Zulu, yesterday we held fire in here, and then the smoke cleared fairly early, and things got fairly active for several hours. So with that activity, we had structure protection in place with the help of OSFM, Oregon State Fire Marshal's Office, on Cupper Creek drainage, and then along Highway 402, and then up into this area as well. And then the fire continued to be active all along this flank. So as you can see, these hash marks are dozer lines, and so we have some stuff in place, and then crews are out there this morning, and we're assessing just how active the fire got, and then if it is still within our this was our control line. It wasn't directly on the fire's edge. We were trying to go direct on the fire yesterday, and then today we'll have to readjust, figure out where it jumped our control lines, and come back in and come up with another plan, or grab another ridge and try to get another line on that fire. So it'll be an extremely busy day in Division Zulu as they kind of try to piece some of this back together in this area. And then working north into Division Alpha, we can just continue to hold and improve along here, and things are looking pretty good along this line here. Working north into Foxtrot, we used Morphine Ridge, and then used fire to get up to this corner, worked around the Tupper Guard Station, and then we just continue to utilize this road system to the east. And then the idea will be to eliminate any issues where the fire is getting aligned in these canyons that can make a run at our control line. And then working to the east, we'll get tied in with Zone 2, and we have some plans to cross Ditch Creek, which will be, a little bit, it has to be well orchestrated. We'll probably have to use some fire when we go down there, so we'll have to burn off the line. So currently dozer lines are getting put in, and then there's prep work, so removing some fuels along the lines to just ensure the quality of the line you're putting in, and then minimize any issues when fire hits that line, or if you introduce fire to the line, to try to build some depth off of that containment. So thank you.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Eric Perkins, Operations Section Chief on the Battle Mountain Complex fire. I'm going to give you a little walk around the map and our plan for today and kind of where we're at. Starting up here in Division Alpha, that's looking really good. Let me back up for a second. I want to let everybody know that we are in a different phase of firefighting right now. We've been chasing the head, multiple heads on this fire for a week and a half now, and we have finally caught the heads of this fire, and so we'll transition to a different stage of firefighting. We'll secure the lines. We put in lines as we caught these things. Yesterday we caught a few spot fires and slop overs, so less chasing, more line secure and starting to mop up, and so we're in a different stage of firefighting on this fire. Finally, it feels like we've been chasing it for a week and a half, and we have been. Anyway, back to the map. The highway corridor, Highway 395, it's looking better and better, more secure every day. The stuff on the hillside is consuming, and the stuff along the road near the edge we've been mopping up, so less and less smoke on the hillside, getting better every minute. Right down here in the southeast corner in now November, one of the last areas where we burned out in that division, that they mopped in about 25 feet on the steep ground down to the North Fork, and nothing spotted over that line. It's been holding real well. They'll get in a little bit deeper. With any luck today, we'll move in another 25 feet and get it mopped in from the edge 50 feet. Coming back to the southwest here in Quebec, Division Quebec, they finally have, like I said, line on everything, so they're going to start securing those lines and mopping interior. Feeling pretty comfortable, pretty good about where that's at. Not a lot of fear of the fire coming outside of the fire line anymore. There'll be interior stuff that consumes, and there is potential for spotting outside the line, but we have a lot of people in place right now, so if any of that happens, well, in the future we'll be able to chase any spot fires that are outside of the line. I don't anticipate a lot. We'll secure those pockets of unburned that are close to the line. Either we'll put line around them. Anyway, not a lot of fear for that. Coming down around the southern end of the fire, yesterday there was an area to secure the line. We had to do a burnout right in front of the fire front. It went very well. We did have a slop over during that, and we chased that down and were able to get a dozer eventually around it and stop the forward progression of that southern end of the fire yesterday. Feel really happy with the crew and the people that were down there making all that happen, so it's looking pretty good. Tied it in to Division Whiskey, which was actually from the Boneyard fire. It's that area from the southern end all the way over to Division Whiskey after yesterday's burnout in front of that fire front. It secured that really nicely. So hopeful that stays where it is. I think it will. I feel very comfortable about it. Coming up here back to the north end of the fire in Division Hotel, they're trying to get around Potamus, the upper drainage area of Potamus. I know they talked about the 130 road being pushed. They'll continue. That road system is just a parallel road along the rim of the both on 130s on the east side of Potamus. Anyway, they will do what they can to get through the drainage and stop the northern progression of the fire in the Potamus drainage. They have a lot of resources over there, and we'll see what we can do. That area of the fire is, we don't have control lines right on the fire's edge, and it's a pretty tough little piece of ground. So we'll concentrate more efforts on that, more muscle power, more brain power, and we'll get it figured out eventually. all along the north end of the fire. They've been doing some contingency work. So that contingency work is out in front, fair distance away from a fire's edge, and it's a fallback line, if you will. And they're getting a lot of good work done on that. It's coming together. You know, they kind of worked on it in pieces, and now they're working towards each other. That's coming together. Looking over here at Pendleton Lake, they've been doing a lot of structure protection in there and prep. I'm hopeful that the fire never makes it there, but you know, we got to be prepared for it. So they're doing some fuels mitigation and putting in resources, a bunch of pumps and hose and Fulda tanks and stuff like that if needed. So that community of in there is ready to defend their properties and homes in there. So that's the plan for today. Thank you.